G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here with another episode of the silly story of Syrix Slipperybottom, the Sorcerer Supreme of the Shire Sorcerous. So when we last left off, I talked about getting another mercenary and heading to the old sycamore tree, possibly with a little side quest on the way. Couple of things. First of all, I can't afford the new companion yet because I am level 3 now, and any companions are going to cost me 4,500 gold. So I'm going to have to save up a little bit for that. Disappointing, but there we go. I should have waited to save up in the last episode. I waited to level up, I mean. I was also going to go to the Old Elm tree, which I'll point out in a minute where that is. But I don't believe that we have enough levels for most of our characters at this point, that it might be a little dicey to try and do that. So instead, we're just going to head straight down to the Sycamore and try and get some money so that we can hire our last mercenary. So the Old Elm is one of several locations in the game that are sort of hidden, and unless you've got the right perception, I think it is, you don't end up seeing them. And it's right along here somewhere. I think it's just down there normally. So we haven't found it this time. We may end up finding it if we come back here later after a few levels. But we weren't high enough to really go and do that battle anyway. So we're going to go down to the sycamore tree instead, after we deal with this group of bandits, maybe? Let's see. No sign. This is actually a bad thing. If this is bandits and there's no sign of them just yet, then we're in a little bit of trouble, because that will generally mean... No, it's only thylacines. We're not going to worry too much about that. Generally, if it's bandits in that sort of situation, you've got them coming at you from several angles. But in this case, that's not going to be a problem. Right. So this was very easy this time, as it should be, thylacines. Well, actually, no one anymore really knows much about thylacines, because for a start, they look absolutely nothing like that. They're not that big. Thylacines are the Tasmanian tiger, which has been extinct for about 100 years now. Although there are rumours that some still exist in isolated pockets of wilderness in Tasmania, because Tasmania is still a fairly rough place. Okay, so that was just Kirsten Gares telling us that we were the good guy after all, and we weren't spies, and all of that stuff, so that's fine. I'm going to do this the same way that I normally do this area. Actually, let's...
So many thoughts, so little time.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait. We should prepare.
Mage armor up
The road
for all
awaits.
of our sorcerers.
Let's shake a leg!
So Cindy got a level. We've leveled her up. She now has Entangle, and I gave her Magic Missile as her next spell. Entangle is just an ability that she gets to cast. Basically, all of the Sylvan Sorcerers are going to get that. Now, with this interaction here, first of all, you will notice something weird. Floating blades here. For whatever reason, the game, when running under Linux like I do, does not render the mites properly. And that meant for the longest time that I thought mites were like maybe, a couple of centimetres, an inch big, and that somehow they were using these weapons, and that's why you couldn't actually see them. You could just see the weapons floating around. They were, abnormally strong for their size. Anyone who's read the Terry Pratchett Discworld novels, and the gnomes in there being very, very small, but some of them are very, very strong. That's what I figured mites were, until I actually looked up one of the wikis, and it shows you the actual image of what they're supposed to appear like. And it's like, yes, there's a bug. It doesn't render properly under Linux. But having said that, I basically go with the mites. Even though both these sides are evil, I don't want to kill everybody. So I asked the kobolds what's going on. Getting very quickly an idea that Shaman Tartuk is Tartuccio. And then I asked the mites what are going on, and, it's pretty obvious straight away that the kobolds are in the wrong, and the mites are in the right. So let's hear what my companions have to advise. Valerie says it's up to us. I'm going to go with the mites, though. And we will now
make an epic pose. I need inspiration.
Kill all the kobolds.
Serves you right.
Actually, the other thing that I should be doing is getting all of my guys to cast.
I am your shield. I crave for adventure.
yeah.
I shall not fail.
Just letting you
I
know.
shall not fail.
Cantrips, rather than using more advanced spells, because most of these guys are going to be pretty easy to take on. Again, I'm not going to bother carrying any of the armor. It's just not worth it. If I have the time, I can, I suppose, make my way back here and pick it all up, but it's not worth it. Now, there is this little hidden area over here, and quite frankly,
I spy. What do I spy?
it's going to be risky to do this. What we're
Anything
going
is possible.
to do is get Linzi to do her Inspire Competence first, so that any skill checks we have to do to come down here, hopefully...
I'm afraid it's impossible.
Yeah. Hopefully we would have done better on that, but we didn't. So we're going to come down here and we're going to raid these guys. They're going to attack us in a second, and then we're going to loot their treasure. Okay.
A solid plan.
Does make it sort of hard fighting the mites. That's why I sort of picked the mites over on my side rather than the kobolds, because it's
just
hard.
not my lucky
It's
day.
just so hard to see them. Damn it! After all of that, we couldn't open that chest. This is another area where normally I would be save farming in an attempt to open that up. I believe that there is another one of these braces of armor in there, which I like to give to my sorcerers. Nobody else really has any decent ability in trickery, do they? It's just Linzi. I might...
Quick, else we miss all the fun!
No. I mean,
Quick,
technically we all
else we
have
miss all the
some
fun.
small amount of ability. There is a very
road
small
awaits.
chance that one of us might open it.
We should prepare.
No. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have problems with this all around, basically. Trying to...
I was successful.
There's a couple of other areas around here where there's sort of little things you want to go to, and if you're not careful, you'll take damage, like we all just did climbing down there in the first place. Okay. So generally I come down this way around the pond, the lake, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a little bit weird, that waterway, because there's no river leading into it, so it is more of a pond than a lake. Let's do these frogs first.
Flesh.
Okay. Okay, we really want to get up here. Like, seriously? So that is mobility. Who has our best mobility? I've got 13, minus 4, 5, 5, 2, and 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Inspire Competence, and then I'm going to try and climb up that. And we did it. That is wonderful. We're going to leave that on, and we're going to get Linzi to come up here because there is one of these chests is locked.
Anything else? Applause, please.
There we go, and then we'll turn that off, and we'll pick up the other stuff that's up here. So, what here was any use? It's that wand of lead blades. Yeah, we're never going to use that. So these guys aren't actually going to charge down at us just yet, so we actually get a chance to sort of get all set and ready to go before we charge in like that. So we want to just make sure that we're all concentrating on the same opponent, which will just make it that much quicker. I don't know why we can't see these guys here yet. Oh, that's right. We have to kill all of those. So we're all going to attack the alchemist first. There we go, and then I'll just let them do a free-for-all from now on because it's only kobolds and they're going to get through that pretty quick. So the next thing is we just need to check and make sure that none of our animal companions are doing too badly, and in fact most of them are doing a little bit badly. So we're going to have to heal them up. Either that or we come and rest out here. Sometimes I'll get to here and I'll go and do the underground parts with the kobolds first, and then I'll come up and do the rest of the area up here. Other times I will explore everything up here first and then go down. I'm thinking at the moment what I want to do is possibly rest. So we're going to come down here and search this guy, and then we'll go over this way. Oh no, let's do these cats and worms first. Okay, collect that. Now there is this bag down here to pick up and loot. Whoops. Oh, there we go. That is one thing I like about this game. When it rains like this, everyone slows down and walks much, much slower than normal. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to rest here. We're going to camp. More to heal up our animal companions than anything else, really. We haven't used a lot of spells or anything like that. But if we can take the chance to heal up our animal companions without having to use spells or potions or anything like that, that'll just make things easier. Oh, and we're attacked while hunting. That does happen a little bit here. Yeah, well, that's the end of that guy. Take the great sword, leave the rest. Back to resting. Okay, and we're all good. And just so that I can remember where we're up to, 67 days still to go. So we are well ahead of time, because all we really have to do is everything in this area and underground, which that's a lot, but we've still got to do all of that and then go and take on the Stag Lord. So I think we're doing pretty damn well. So did we not loot that body, or is that just... No, we didn't loot that body. So we're going to come around here to this camp. Now we've got to be super careful here again, because there are these traps.
I see something. Applause, please.
So what we might just do, I don't do this often,
Shadows, embrace me.
but we might just go into stealth mode just to be on the safe side so that there's a less chance. Okay, I was going to say there's a less chance of waking these guys up, but when you fumble a trap like that, Linzi, this is what happens. Okay, there is a mage over here and there's an archer over here. They are our two most dangerous opponents here. For right now... Oh, no, wrong spell. I thought that was entangle. Don't worry, don't mind me. I don't want that. I want that. You will inspire courage. You will summon... Where are you? There. I'm just going to summon it there, so it's fairly close, so she doesn't have to move. Entangle. This is going to affect us as well as them, but you know what? I don't care. So that's you. You actually, I think, we'll get you to hold for a second.
Let's shake a leg.
And for some reason, that's not on anymore. We've got Snowball, we've got Burn Hands. This doesn't count to our normal spells. This doesn't count to our normal spells. And this doesn't count to our normal... Oh, maybe this does, actually. But this one and this one certainly don't count to our normal number of spells per day. But I'm going to cast this. Which does mean I've got to move forward to do it. But these guys are coming in. Mostly because I want to see if this is linked to that. There's a number of spells that I can use per day. Oi, you lot. You can attack him. You can attack him. And
so many thoughts, so little time.
You can attack him. Okay, so there's the necromancer and there's the bandit. That's an archer. Both of those are going to be very dangerous.
What do I spy?
Okay, we've got entangle there. That's going to slow them down. Now is the time to start. Okay, so even though that was a snowball, he took electrical damage. That's good. So that ability is turned on. How much damage did I do with that? 3d6 plus 1. I'm definitely going to use that against this necromancer. And you are going to cast that on Valerie, and then we're going to let her go in. And we're going to cast that like that, so that we've got one more companion to help us. In fact, let's go nuts with the animal companions. Why not? Magic missile against that bandit, please. And I've already chosen my spell. Oh, and we got a scare in there. That's not good. Okay. How is this bandit going? He is almost dead. That's good. I think... Okay, so that Burning Hands is just a normal Burning Hands spell. It is affected, like our normal spells are, by the number of spells per day. I've got to take out this mage as quickly as possible. So, Cindy, I need you to magic missile him. And who else do we have? Linzi. I want you to try hypnotize on him or her, whatever it is, and you've gone and run off because of the scare. The sooner we can take this mage out, the sooner that scare will disappear off those guys. That bandit is still alive. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everybody to focus on this guy.
A miserable last
There we go.
chapter.
Now focus on that one. Yes, I'm getting attacked by this guy, but I need to take out...
Is all of this this blood mine? Never thought I had that much.
Okay, I need to heal, and I don't have anything with which to heal. Perfect opportunity to do the electrical burning hands against this guy. That worked well. Almost took out the leopard in the process, but it worked reasonably well. Now, we're all sort of stuck in this entangle. This is the problem. Some other variations on the D&D games that I have played, there are various interpretations as to whether spells like... Oh, look, another bracer. As to whether spells like Grease and Entangle affect your party or just your opponents. And also, sometimes that's at different difficulty levels as well. So the difficulty levels will be that if you're playing at an easy difficulty level, you will not be affected by any of those spells. And things like Fireball won't affect your party. Fireball, Lightning Bolt, all those sorts of offensive spells won't affect your party either. This game doesn't seem to have any of that. It doesn't matter whether you play easy or not. These spells will affect your guys, which is why I tend to be a little bit shy about using things like Fireball or Grease or Entangle, because they seem to hinder me as much as they do the enemies. Again, some shamans, so they're the ones we want to take out first.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait.
Magic missiles, I think, from most of my guys will get rid of that shaman
Our duty calls.
pretty damn quick. Those that can cast it, of course.
Forwards.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Wow, you don't have much to do at the moment. Let's just
Observe the
inspire
others.
courage.
Learn from their
And you don't have
mistakes
magic missile
before
either,
they
so...
learn.
So that's one down. Just get all the rest of my guys to concentrate on that one. Let's just double check what have I got. Yes, I've got Jolt. Good, I've got that. Just making sure all of my guys have a cantrip set as their default ability. Okay. And you just sort of Smilodon in action, taking that Kobold Shaman out very, very quickly. And there we go. Right.
Forwards!
Charge on in. I don't think there's anyone seriously... There's no shamans or anything here, so this is going to be a pretty straightforward,
you out of our
easy,
story.
quick battle. There we go. Okay, so I readily admit to being a bit of a coward here.
No.
Okay. Because the very first time I
Forwards?
came to this area,
Backwards!
I looted all of this. I saw that there was camping supplies up here. I went, oh great, I'll take the opportunity and I will camp here. I'm not going to take the hide armor. It's not worth it. And you get attacked by a ghost or some sort of very high-level undead at that point. And I was like, I think I got, killed straight away. And I was like, okay, not going to do that again. And I haven't. Every other playthrough I've done. Okay, another group of kobolds just here. Shining was pretty easy. Let's loot these bodies. Okay, so we want to go up onto this plateau to get to the moon radish, but also there is this shambling mound up here that we can kill and some other stuff that we can get. But I'm thinking that we're going to leave that for the next episode. So this has been another episode of the silly story of Syrix, Slipperybottom, the Sorcerer Supreme of the Shire Sorceress. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a like, a subscribe, add some comments, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Goodbye.